We flipped a coin, okay? You and me. You and me. Coin flip is sacred.
Y'all ready for a show today, baby? Go time, baby.
We've been waiting all week for this. This is where it happens right here, man. We man up, we stand up. We man up, we stand up. We all we got. We all we got. We all we got. We all we got. We all we got.
Hit anything that moves. We're playmakers, man. We the best, nothing less.
You don't like this? Trust me, you don't like it.
We're between the white lines. This is football. Welcome to the big league. I won the toss. I took the football. Drive it down that throat.
Are you out of your mind? Are you out of your skull?
Hey, every season is full of defining moments. Let's make this day a defining moment for us in our quest.
Game time! Game time!
Welcome everybody to week 8 of the Coin Flip NFL main slate dive in. Beautiful Thursday afternoon. Not really. It's like 60 mile an hour here in Norman, so I kind of feel what the PGA golfers are feeling. Although the afternoon guys are getting a little bit of a break. The stats say that, but I got it on the TV over there, and it's still humming along in spots. But right now, the PM guys are about 3 shots better than the AM guys. We'll see, which was expected. We kind of thought the PM would be better today. The question, I didn't know it that much better, but the question will be, what does tomorrow look like? Because to me, it looks like it continues to die and die and die and start to shift and turn out of directions. So tomorrow afternoon should have a decent advantage. I don't know if they're going to have this much advantage, so we'll see. It'll be fun. Round 2 could have some advantages. I'll have all that out later on today. Right now, use the code COIN, get 20% off. Any package includes a risk-free 7-day trial. NBA is fired up. College football, 2 more weeks of NASCAR, 3 more weeks of PGA before we take a little break until the January, I don't want to say spring swing, but the main season starts over. We've got plenty of college football, NFL to get through all the way till February for NFL and January for college football, including the bowl games. Let's get the listener league filled up. I have it in the description. We filled it last week. Want to keep it filled. Maybe try to grow it a little bit. Limited rate, flat payouts, 3 max entry, 200 total entries. Rate and review us on iTunes goes a long way. Appreciate when you guys do that. I gave away 2 million tickets to guys as a rate and review us this morning on Cup with Gup. So I do look at those and keep a log of that. If you haven't done it, let's get a big boost in there for us here in the middle of the football season. Carry it over into golf and make a big run for 2022. Underdog, right now, this week, brand new offer. Deposit up to $100, get a dollar for dollar match. Free money, so you put $100 in, you get a free $100. They have daily pick'ems on almost every sport: PGA, college football, NFL, NBA, MLB, NASCAR, esports even. We can start building our bankroll over there. They have, you can mix and match your over-under parlays, pays up to 20x depending on how many picks you choose. Got tons of content. You can utilize, you can look back and forth between them and Monkey Knife Fight. I use both depending on the lines. The link is in the description to join them as well. Normal pod today. We do the plays, fades, and values in each position. 3 favorite stacks, 2 favorite Super 7 contest picks, upset of the week, survivor of the week, and then Monkey Knife Fight plays, and we get out of here. Kick it off at quarterback. I like Hurts this week. I think I'm going to try. The only worry is, do they actually pull him? I don't think they would. Now, if they made a trade or something, that could be a deal. But as the team sets today, I think they stay with Hurts. I think it's a good game. I think it'll kind of go a little under the radar. We got 7 road favorites. I think 3 on this slate are double digit or close to. And, you're going to have a bunch of Bills and Rams and Chargers, a little bit of Titans. I think that Philly-Detroit game is one that I really caught my eye early as a sneaky game to look into. I think both teams can score. Defenses struggle on both sides. He can get it done with his legs. Sanders is gone. They'll definitely use Scott and Gainwell some. Devontae's his main target there. Now Goddard's there with just lost his name. Just went to the Cardinals tonight. So I like him, 7,200. He'll probably be a little less owned than Brady. Zach Ertz, sorry. Brady, Herbert, and him are all within $100 of each other. I think they're all going to be fairly popular. Hurts, it's hard to watch because sometimes you watch the game and you're like, man, this guy's going to kill me this week, and he winds up still getting there. I got him for 23.4 points, about 10% ownership, so he's one I like. My next play is Brady. If I'm going to go up here, the one piece of chalk I'll go into this week would probably be Tampa Bay against New Orleans. I think it'll be a competitive game, and because I think Brady likes to throw. If the Saints are hanging in there, we get a high-scoring game. He's making it kind of his point to just throw all over people. Saints are kind of hard to run on, so I like him 7,400. You can mix and match so many combos there. And again, I think the Saints cover, so the plus 5.5 is a good number. But because I think that is a reason why I want to take Brady this week, because I think he'll still be in the game throwing and stuff. Values I really like this week. This is not a good slate so far for values at other places. So paying down for quarterback could be an option this week. You don't have Mahomes and all them on this slate. Lamar's not on it. So I like Trevor Lawrence. It took me a while to get here, but it's on the road, so that worries me a little bit. But they're really starting to click and come along some. $5,500 is a good pay down. Mix him at some of his cheap pieces at wide receiver. Even Arnold at tight end is. I got him later on in the pod. I think he's 2,800 or so. You can get you don't have to get crazy in it, but you get a little mini stack out of that game, and then you can come back with if you love Kupp or you love Henry or whoever it is. And then my next one's Wentz, probably one of my favorite of the week. I like him. I've been high on him. I played him in the showdown. Won me a good bit of money. 5,700. I think this will be a competitive game as well. It's a big game for the Colts. They pretty much need to win it if they want to have a chance at winning the division. Pittman's coming along. If T.Y. plays, I love it even more. I love Jonathan Taylor. So I think this game, I think Wentz could have a good game. He is starting to run just a hair. As he gets more comfortable and feeling better, he still is somewhat of a run threat, and mainly, around the goal line stuff. But I'm not playing him because of that. I just think at 5,700, he's got some upside there. And you get a little mini stack. You could do like a Wentz, Pittman, and run it back with Henry. You can still put Taylor in there if you want. Mo Alley Cox, you could get in there at $3,200. So I like Wentz this week. My fade would be Josh Allen. As it stands right now, I like him. I don't mind him. He's at home against Miami. Probably blow him out. They're 13.5-point favorites. Could be running the ball a lot in the second half. But in a slate that's lacking value, I don't want to pay up for quarterback this week. There's so many running backs I like. It's a good slate for running backs. Some good one-off wide receivers. I'm going to pay down to at least the Hurts, Brady, Herbert area, which I told you I like Brady and Hurts. Or I'm going to go all the way down to some of these value plays. So I'm going to fade Allen this week at $8,100. Running back, just mentioned him, Jonathan Taylor. Love him this week. Good matchup against Tennessee. Tennessee's defense look better. I give them that, but they're still can be scored on. I think Colts are going to be able to score on them. They're at home. They'll probably be sub 10% or so. I really like Taylor this week, and I like Henry. Henry, let down a little bit last week, but in the past, people were, well, you never liked McCaffrey. And I'm like, yeah, well, McCaffrey was coming in some weeks like over 10,000, I remember. So I feel like you're getting a person. I know he doesn't have the receiving upside, but man, he's been so dominant. And $8,900, probably be a little less owned coming off the quote unquote bust last week. I feel like I'm getting him at somewhat of a discount. Got to have to get unique in those lineups. Like I said, we don't have a ton of value on this slate yet. We'll see what opens up between now and Sunday. But I do like Henry. And then Swift is one of my favorite plays on the slate. Again, that's that Detroit-Philly game environment I want to get into. Philly can't stop anybody run the ball. They're slowly starting to continue to give him the ball like they said they were going to. I love Swift this week. Probably one of my favorite plays on the entire slate, $7,100. Values, I think you can go Scott or Gainwell out of Philly. When Sanders got hurt, Scott did get pretty good amount of touches. They love Gainwell, but I do think they still want to mix it up. Scott's cheaper. It kind of just depends on how you feel the game script's going to go. I got Scott 4,400 and about 7%. Gainwell, he's 5,000. I have about 8%. So it just depends on how your lineups are going. I think you go either way there. I probably lean Gainwell because I see this being an up-tempo game. But I don't have an issue with either one of those guys as a cheap pay down. Elijah Mitchell against the Bears. If he looks like he's going to get most of the work, $5,400 against Chicago. Going to be an ugly game. They'll probably be running a lot, especially if it's Jimmy G looking. So, Trey Lance, if he doesn't get on the field. I don't like a lot of cheap running backs this week, but he's one of the ones that are kind of down there that catches my eye at $5,400. My favorite would be Eckler. Belichick's good at taking away your best weapon. I don't know for sure if he's going to take away wide receivers, try to take away one wide receivers or Eckler. My guess is if you try to limit Eckler and force Herbert to throw it. Don't know that for sure, but I think Eckler is going to be the highest owned running back on the slate. He's almost $8,000, $3,900. Like I'd almost rather go up to, even Kamara. Or drop down, all the way. I can save $700 on Taylor. Cordell Patterson's a guy I don't mind. Mixon. These guys are a lot cheaper this week, and so fade one of the chalky guys on the slate. He's the one that I would do right now. Wide receivers. I like Cooper Kupp. So hard to get off of that right now. He's just dominating. The 9,000, I'm interested to see how the industry takes that and scares them away by the time we get to Sunday. Would you really start building, especially if we really don't get any late opening up on value? How many want to stomach a 9,000 Kupp in their lineup? It's a big spread. They could blow them out early, be running the ball late with Henderson and others. If Kupp's not involved in that early, which he should be, he's been involved on it all week, it could be a bust spot. But, right now, just how he's playing, and him and Stafford look like they're, connected at the hip. So I can't get off that for now. I like Godwin and Evans. Godwin, you say $600, and he could be a little higher owned with the savings, but play them both, especially if AB's out again. Looks like Gronk's going to be out, so if I'm playing TB, I got to get one or both of those in my lineup as well. And again, I think they're going to be throwing the ball. I think it's going to be a good, fun, competitive game. Brady goes for over 300 again. Hopefully, the Saints and Kamara and others, I don't think Michael Thomas will come back, but if he does, that changes the slate. He's 6,000, so he's not like dead cheap, but I definitely like Godwin or Evans. I probably lean Godwin personally if I'm choosing between the two. Calvin Ridley got the touchdown last week, but not much there. I still think he's going to have a good game at some point. Getting the looks. Carolina, they're at home. I think Atlanta, they could be a sneaky team to stack. Matt Ryan, he's cheap. Ridley, Pitts, Patterson out of the backfield. You can mix and match there. Carolina's just not looked the same, the last few weeks without McCaffrey. Devontae Smith, 5,500. He was kind of borderline value in here, but I like him. Again, if I like Hurts, you got to think Smith has a good day against Detroit. He's clearly his favorite target. 5,500 seems too cheap. I'll get some action on that. My values, Pittman, 5,300. Again, I like the Colts. He looked good last game. I think he's continued to elevate. And if T.Y.'s in, I think it helps him because it takes a little bit off of him. T.Y. can still get open on the defense. So I like Pittman this week. Khalif, I talked about him for Detroit in the waiver wire show. Khalif Raymond, he's 5,300 this week. Clearly becoming Goff's favorite wide receiver. He still likes Hawkinson, but I like him, and that's probably if I'm going to be stacking that Detroit-Philly game. I may get some pieces of Raymond, running it back, or Swift, one of those other. But Raymond's cheap enough that you can go there. Chenault is a guy that I really liked out of college. He's had, boom and bust weeks. He is starting to click with Lawrence. $4,700. I think he's a good piece if you do go with Lawrence and you want to get a couple pieces to stack. Agnew is cheap too, $3,700 if you're trying to save money and maybe you're doing a mini stack with Jacksonville, and that's where you try to get a Cooper Kupp or a Henry in. So those guys are relatively cheap and could have good games against Seattle, who we know doesn't have the best of D's. My fade this week is Debo, and it's really just pricing. $7,400. I mean, Chicago's not great or anything. He could have a big game. It's hard to pay up for that, and one of the, I think it is the lowest game total of the week, 39.5. Not really interested in that this week. Tight ends, I'm gonna go with Pitts. This would be a position I pay up at, especially if I save some money at quarterback. I like Pitts, 6,300, really coming along in Atlanta, looking better and better. If really gets involved, that should open up Pitts some. I like Hawkinson. He can be part of that Detroit Philly stack environment. $5,400. I have no issues there. My value on the slate, Arnold. I talked about him earlier. If I'm going Lawrence, he'd be an auto plug to get. You go Lawrence, Arnold, and then pick one of those wide receivers, a little mini stack. Maybe pluck a Metcalf or something on the other side if you want a run back. If not, that stack right there, Arnold. If you go Arnold, Agnew, and Lawrence, really opens up your build for some higher dollar people. You may even be able to fit Henry and Kupp or something in there. My fade is Higbee, just price-wise. I like him on the year. I think he may be somewhat popular because people will be stacking the Rams this week against Houston. And a lot of people auto stack their tight ends sometimes in that case, especially on a slate where we don't have Kelsey, we don't have Waller, we don't have Andrews. So $4,500, maybe a little bit chalkier. I think I'll pass on that. I like other tight ends better. I go to Goddard, $200 more in that environment. Defenses, this is pretty simple for me this week. I have 4. I'm going to be mixing and matching between depending on how the builds go. I like the Bengals against the Jets. I think that's one of the best plays on the slate, $3,600. I like the Browns against Pittsburgh, $3,000. Big Ben can turn it over. I think that's going to be an ugly, slobber knocker type game. And then if I'm paying down, which we may have to this week, I like the Jags, $2,400. Assuming I know Russell Wilson's not coming back this week, so I do like that. And then just against Geno, he's just looked awful. So $2,400, you may get something lucky there. And I like the Bears against Jimmy G. They're at home. I like cheap home defenses, so I'll have some of them this week as well. 3 to 5 gut feel plays for me. I like Chuba. I don't think he's ever going to break out or anything, but I just think he's too talented. He's in a good spot against Atlanta. Not too expensive. I think he's $6,000. I don't mind playing some of him. I still like Javonte Williams playing Washington at home. They could be running the ball a lot in that game. I like Cordell Patterson. He could be a one-off or some of those mix and matches if you go with some Atlanta stacks. Higgins is a guy I like. I know Chase is the shiny guy and deservedly so, but I still think Higgins will do well this year. And now he's, $2,300 cheaper than Chase. I don't mind getting some Higgins. And I still like Mooney. I think, he may be able to break open some. $4,800 against the 49ers. Slim pickings when you're looking down here at some of these other wide receivers, but he's one I do like his upside. My favorite stacks on the week, I like the Eagles. I like the Bucks. My sneaky stack is one or the other. I like Colts or Jaguars. I don't think either one of those are going to be a real popular stack, so they're 2 that I would take a look at. My favorite Super 7 plays over on carboncontest.com. I jumped into the top 10 this week. I'm number 9, so tons of football left, so nothing to get too excited about, but it's good to be up there. Colts -1 and Cowboys -1.5. My upset of the week is Jags beating Seattle. I just don't trust Geno very much. Survivor, we just hadn't had a big upset yet. I think I heard a stat or saw a stat that no one that's been knocked out has been better than a touchdown favorite or something. So it's going to come when we get that big knockout. I don't see it this week. Basically, you could have played all favorites over a touchdown and you'd still be alive. There hadn't been a team lose as a 7-point or more favorite, I think is what it said. Something to that effect. But basically meaning we're going to have that blood week at some point. It's just not come early. Pretty easy games this week. You should have one of these 4 teams between the Bengals, Bills, Chiefs, and Rams. I just pick the ones you have, lock and load, and move on. I like home teams better there. So, if you want a tiebreaker. Monkey Knife Fight. Been doing really well over there. You can deposit up to $100, get a $100 match with them as well. Use the code GUPS, G-U-P-S. Link is in the description. They got UFC, big UFC card this weekend. They got Knockout Kings. for that. College football has been on there. I love that. NFL, PGA, of course. I released those yesterday. My college football play of the week is more or less, it pays 3x your money. It's on the early game slate if you're on the site. Bijan Robinson over 121.5 rushing yards, and Jeremy Ford over 117.5 rushing yards. My NFL play of the week, more or less, that pays 5 extra money. I have Matt Ryan over 280.5, Joe Burrow over 279.5, and Derrick Henry over 109.5 rushing. So get those in and pay 8 extra money if we hit both those. Get back a little bit cool off last week. We're going to get back at it this week. Again, use the code COIN. Get 20% off any package. Includes a 7-day risk-free trial. The Audible will be out Sunday morning, 9 o'clock. The Hot Route with Ryan and I drops later on tonight. I'll have that out. College football DFS pod, the read option with Bobby Berger, out tomorrow morning. Big week ahead. We got World Series going on. NBA is in full effect. Had some good cashes on that last night. PGA, crazy week this week with the weather. Going to be fun to watch and see how that shows out. Big game in NFL tonight. Looking forward to it. Wish Adams and Lazard were there, but I think it'll still be entertaining. I think Rodgers will be a little motivated to show what he can do. And big college football weekend. We got a lot of big games. Michigan, Michigan State. Slates tonight, slates tomorrow, slates Saturday. It's a great time to come join us. Check out all our new tools and lineup optimizer upgrades. GupsCorner.com/memberships. I will see you guys later on with Ryan. Have a blessed evening and good luck to this weekend. Thanks.